Thank you for that. And I have a guest with me as well, Peter McGuire from Exum Australia. Peter, hi, thank you for your time. The Nord Stream pipeline reopening today didn't come as a surprise because the Russian president did speak about that yesterday. What is bothering is because the pipeline capacity is at around nearly 160 million cubic feet. 64 million cubic meters is what we were looking at as a flow before maintenance. And we do understand that it just comes down to 30 to 40 million cubic meters as of now. So the outflows have continued to decline. Does that bother you?
Well, it does, Manisha. I've got to be also mindful that on the 10th of July, when they did shut it down, we were looking at about 29 million kilowatt hours per hour. And now we're looking at around about that same number now. In the last couple of hours, they've turned it on and we've checked websites and that's the sort of number. So it's well back, but let's just hope that they turn the tap up a little bit further and we're not going to be in this situation come winter with the sort of conditions that everyone's forecasting, which are going to be quite dire for 500 million Europeans.
Really? Also, Peter, in last year, we saw European Union natural gas imports from Russia to the tune of 45%. The first quarter of this year has seen a decline up to 28%. What is the sense, what is the strategy that you see coming from the European Union?
Well, where it's going to move forward, Manisha, you're looking at Azerbaijan and you're looking at the USA. We're also in talks with Israel and Qatar as far as production. So whether they can fill the breach, no one really, well, I'm not saying no one knows. They're going to suggest that they will be able to, but I don't think it's just as simple as, replacing Russian supply. The other side, of course, is that it's okay with in some ways, a European summer, although it is mightily hot. But in 4 or 5 months' time, you really enter that winter period, and that's not a time to be out of gas.
Oh, well, absolutely. Talk about Europe, and they're looking at, the temperature of 40 to 42 degrees, which is way more than what we're experiencing in Mumbai right now, way more than what we usually see in summers here as well. But how are you looking at the gas demand for air conditioning right now because of this?
Well, this is the issue, Manisha, the drawdown as far as for air conditioning, and everyone wants a cooler home, a temperate climate. So, you're going to have a massive demand. And if you've got these sort of record temperatures, which are sweeping across Europe and the UK, then that's certainly going to impact from a demand side. And where we move forward, it'll just be interesting. Some people won't be able to cool their homes. It's a little bit like with high energy prices at the moment. A lot of people aren't driving their motor vehicles. So that's the price you pay. And these are the situations that are always presenting themselves.
Peter, what's your sense on near-term prices for gas now? I mean, we're holding above $7.5. There has been conversation about $11 and $13 if situation continues the way it is right now within this year itself. What's your sense?
Well, Manisha, if it gets to that sort of headline, you take it up to 11 or 13, that's frightful. We've got a situation that I think a lot of traders are mindful of since the start of, about the 5th or the 6th of this month. So 2 weeks ago, we were up 45% in that 2 weeks. It's been an enormous trade, very, very bullish. And if this momentum continues, I think we're going to spank through $8 and we might be at $8.50 within the next, maybe by end of week, because the momentum certainly is to the upside. And it'll be interesting how that all plays out from a trade perspective.
I need a word on the crude oil prices also, because the U.S. crude prices declined way sharper than what we saw with Brent overnight. This is clearly because of the gas demand in U.S., which hasn't really picked up in the peak driving summer demand season. I mean, I'm assuming markets were expecting a better number, but what we've seen in sense of gas inventories increase clearly has done that damage.
Well, exactly right, Manisha, and that's, whilst we've got that demand and we've also got, naturally air conditioning across the US and they've had fairly high temperatures also, we've got another thing that we've got to keep very mindful of, and more than just a little thing, it's a big component of this time of year, which is the hurricane season and what impact that can have. And I've been talking to, meteorologists, and they're saying it could be quite a heavy hurricane season as far as early season, early parts of August. We could see weather outages, and all of these impacts are going to have a very, very crucial component to the energy situation across the USA.
Okay.
All right, Manisha, thank you very much for that. Great to speak with you, and thank you very much for being here.